What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Monster Bass channel. Thanks for stopping by. This is Paul with Burley Fishing, and I've got an unboxing for you here today. I'm going to show you every single one of the lures in the December Monster Bass ice box. I'm going to show you how to use each lure. We're going to give you an in-depth rundown in each one of them. This is a great box packed with some awesome ice fishing baits. I'm in Michigan. We are still semi-patiently waiting for ice. We're probably 4 to 6 weeks away before we get safe ice out there. And before we go any further, I want to say thank you so much for stopping by the channel. Thanks for checking out this video. Thanks for leaving a comment, letting us know what you think of this box and what you think of the lures inside. We appreciate it very much. While you're here, please smash the like button, ring the notification bell so you can see when we post the next video. And with that, let's get this bad boy cracked open. Let's do it. So this one sticks out to me immediately. Right here, we've got the Lindy perch talker. Now this is a 3-pack. This is a 3-pack. I've seen this one in the ice box before. I have the green one from way back when, but I think that was a single, but I can't remember. But this is a 3-pack of the Lindy perch talker. You get 3 colors. Mine has gold shiner. That's that guy right there. Then you've got the metallic purple, and then the glow, which actually is sweet. I honestly did not even know that they had an all glow, and I think that is heckin' rad. This may not look like a traditional lure to you. This may not look like something that would work under the ice, but this is a phenomenal bait. This is one of those like legendary category baits. I'm gonna open this up and show you how it actually works. The old trusty pocket knife out. Oop, almost put that through my finger. Cool, cool, cool. All right, so here is your Lindy perch talker. So here you can see there are brass balls and then these little like half shell deals right here. These are all like free moving on this wire. So when you jig this up and down like so, you get this awesome, see if I can do it, I'll poke myself. You get this awesome sound. They make larger versions of this. But this is the perch talker, and you can see there's a drop hook here, and it drops down to a treble, which I think is really interesting. A lot of times you'll see single hooks, and actually see that later in this unboxing. You'll see single hooks with these drops, but this one's got the red treble. Slow that down for you. Now, I recommend tipping this one with a wax worm almost every single time. I wouldn't go with like a minnow, but you certainly can. I like to go wax worm, but I'm also more of a panfish guy. That's like my passion for ice fishing is like almost exclusively panfish. I just think it's so much fun to run and gun for smaller fish. That being said, this will absolutely catch anything. It certainly will catch panfish, like perch and whatnot, but it slays everything. Having this glow one is cool. I think you'll have to charge this. So I don't know if you've seen those like glow lights that actually charge these up. But either way, it's just such a heckin' cool idea to get glow paint on the entire thing. These things are made with like premium components. Like I said, all of this is brass, I think. And then you get the red hook down there with a little flash of color to draw a fish in and maybe be the difference between getting like that little bite, even if you haven't tipped it with a wax worm. But this does come in a couple of different colors. So we got these two guys holding hands right here. This is your purple and this is your gold. Always love to have a gold and a silver option. So having one here that's got, let me get the focus right. Having one that's got like the silver little clamshells there and then the gold one. These are heckin' cool options. I love these. These are absolutely going in my arsenal. Let me see if I actually have a different one. So here's the Wally talker, not on a drop chain, a lot louder and a heck of a lot bigger as well. But I do have, so this is one of mine, is a perch talker. There's a little guy right there, green and gold. So kind of excited to add to the arsenal. But yeah, a great bait. You can jig it, you can dead stick it. I prefer to be jigging it. It's one that I think does its best work when it's in motion and you get those like little metal objects all running into each other and making sound underneath the water. I think that's when it does its best. That is more to me of like a dinner bell. Like I think of that one as like ring the dinner bell. That's drawn fish in. I don't want to be on the bottom. I probably want to be at least a foot off the bottom. And if you need to be, or at least a couple inches off the bottom realistically, but it does its best work, maybe a foot off the bottom, bringing fish in from a long distance. Especially with one that glows, it's a great night option. But having a couple different colors in that 3-pack absolutely lets you work in light water, dark water, or murky water, and then also at night with the glow. So that's an awesome 3-pack. Now I said you were gonna see a single hook drop on a different spoon. This is the Sitka smelt stick. This is an absolute like dynasty classic lure. catches a ton of fish in the Midwest and pretty much everywhere else. This one, to me, I always think live bait. It works great as a dead stick. It's pretty heavy. I think this one is this an 1/8 of an ounce? These are a little bit on the heavy side. I do think they're an 1/8 of an ounce. This one doesn't say, so I'm kind of going from memory. So if I get that wrong, I'm sorry. Let me know in the comments. I'll certainly issue a correction if that's the case. But these are definitely a little on the heavier side. So this is a lead body spoon, and it's, I mean, technically it's a spoon, but this is kind of just a weight. I love the paint job, holographic with a little bit of a red dot there at the gill and the black on top. I mean, it's mimicking any bait fish that's out there. There's no wrong bait fish that this is mimicking. It's doing everything. The cool part about this one is on the back, it's got a heavy duty coating, and I don't know what this camera's picking up, so let's try and get a little closer. This thing has got a heavy duty coating of glow attached to it. So you get the glow, you get the hollow, and then you get the bait fish pattern all in one. Awesome option. But you can tell this is supposed to be a very vertical presentation. And then you've got your drop hook down to this gold hook. This is a pretty strong chain. I've never had one break. I've got maybe a dozen of these. And I like to do like a very small minnow or a large, or even a couple wax worms. I don't think there's really a bad option, but I almost exclusively use live bait for these. I actually find these to be a very good dead stick option, but you can certainly jig them and find a pattern that works for you. But again, they are a little bit on the heavy side. So I'm either using a medium action rod. It's going to be a little bit, more heavy duty. You know, something that can handle a little bit more weight. This is definitely not going on a light or an ultralight. But this is an outstanding lure. This one has caught a gajillion fish for a lot of fishermen. This is a classic. So let's go ahead and round out the spoon offering. Now, if you don't know, if you haven't ice fished before, you're going to see like a pretty common theme. You're going to see plastics, spoons, and you're going to see jigs and small jigs. Like that is sort of like the mainstay for fishermen. Maybe some hair jigs mixed in there, but like that, I mean, that is like the absolute mainstay for an ice fisherman. So you're getting 3 spoons. The last one is the Rattlin Flyer by Lindy. So Lindy, massive brand out there, an absolute legend in the ice fishing industry. And even actually, that's kind of weird, it says legendary ice fishing tackle on the packaging, so there you have it. But this is an awesome spoon. Again, a spoon that I think a lot of people are, if you are in ice fishing, are probably familiar with. This is going to be sort of on the opposite spectrum of the one I just showed you. The one I just showed you is a little bit heavier, very slim and trim, very narrow. This is going to be a much lighter spoon. It's meant to flutter. So there's a few different schools of spoons. This one's more in the flutter, so light action. You're gonna want to jig this one. I think this one does its best work when jigged, not necessarily dead sticked or matched with live bait. This one does best, I think, it's on its own. So to me, this spoon is an absolute crusher in dark water. Why do I say that it's a crusher in dark water? Well, one, you get the color, right? So that's a ton of flash. That's gonna make the most use of any light that is down there. So that holographic paint job on the top there. But it's also gonna be, you can see there's like some scoops on the back. It's gonna provide a heck ton of flutter. This is not a lead body spoon. So even though the one I just showed you, that Sitka stick, that smelt stick, is a lead body, it looks almost the same size. This is a lot heavier than this one, and that's because this is a lead body spoon and this Lindy is not. It's made of an alloy, and so it's actually quite light. Surprisingly light for how big it is. So this one, as you jig it, is going to be moving a ton, and then it's going to be fluttering like crazy all the way down, because obviously it's got these wings that are catching a ton of water, but it's also very light. It's also got brass rattles on the inside. I don't know if you can hear that or not. I'm pretending like you can. But if you can, yeah, you've got some brass rattles inside. So you can see along the center right here, there is a hollow chamber with those rattles in it. That is gonna give those fish one more thing to key in on in murky water. So my recommendation, vertically jig this one in murky water and work it for all that it is worth. And I think you're gonna be very happy with it. It's got a great red treble at the bottom for securing that fish. Again, legendary spoon. So before we get to the spoons, you're gonna see a slotted float. Now, this is not necessarily what I would consider to be like a traditional ice gear, but like I mentioned, it is December and we do not have ice yet. But the panfish are out and they are biting. This can be an ultralight killer. Because these slotted foam floats, they don't weigh anything nearly as much as a traditional bobber. So if you want to use ultralight tackle, and ultralight fishing for me this year has been like far and away the thing I learned the most about, and I actually now in my boat, I keep an ultralight rod with me at all times, like at all times. And foam floats have become one of the tools that I have in the toolkit for using ultralight line. And by ultralight line, I mean like 2-4 pound test, maybe with like 4, 6, or 8 pound braid. And I'm throwing ultralight jigs. Great example is one that I have right here on my workbench. This is a 1/64 ounce jig from Mule Fishing Jigs. Super, super, super duper lightweight. Now when you get that lightweight, 1/64 ounce, like presentation can be everything. And the difference between a solid presentation and scaring away those like skittish panfish can be using a float that is too heavy. Even the smallest plastic float that you have is going to have much bigger impact, not only in your casting, but also splashing in the water, versus a foam float, which is not even going to have nearly as much. And if it's a pegged foam float, which is a little stick, like a toothpick to hold it onto the line, that is like ultra light, right? So how do these work? It's super duper simple. So you've got your float right here, and then you'll see you've got the slotted line cut right through the side of that float. And then you get yourself a little toothpick that comes with it. Now you can use whatever you want, but they do give you 3 of these. Come on, focus. They do give you 3 of these with their 3 floats. Now what you do is you basically just take your line and you run your line through that little slot, and then you take your toothpick here and you peg into your line, just like that. The only thing holding the bobber to your line is the pressure of that toothpick pinched between the float and your line. Super, super lightweight, not gonna impact your cast, not gonna give you any line twist, and it's gonna protect the presentation of that ultra fine jig. So a great way to target panfish in that super cold water. Now let's get down to the jigs. This is kind of like my territory. This is where I do most of my fishing, is with super small ultralight jigs. This one is a size 12 jig from Widowmaker Lures. This one is called the Glow Scud Missile, again, a number 12. It's called Color 44. Yeah, I don't think you can really give it, I'm gonna open it up. You can't really call it pink because it's definitely, I mean, it definitely is pink. There's pink on it, but it's not only pink. All right, so let's check out the detail on this bad boy. So yes, you've got your pink with a little glow dot, but you've also on the back side got this splatter of more glow paint. So this is called a scud. Now, the reason this is called a scud is you can tell there's little microorganisms that live underwater, and one of them is called a scud, and that is exactly what it looks like. So this is mimicking something that is live. So that is your paint job, and that is your scud pattern. Now this is definitely one you can fish on its own. You can fish it vertical, like so, but you're going to have probably a tough time with your hook sets. Just make sure you take your time with it. So I like to rig mine horizontally, and that's mostly coming from your knot. A smaller knot, not pulled super tight, is going to give you vertical. A little bit bigger knot, cinched down really tight, is going to give you a horizontal presentation. Now you could tip these with waxies. That is probably the #1 way to do it. Any kind of worm, like those small ice fishing worms, but there's a plastic in here that works very well with this specific lure. And it is also made by Widowmaker Lures. So this is the Waxy Junior in hot pink. I'm gonna pop one of these off. This does come in an 8-pack, which I think is the perfect number that'll get you through a season, even of heavy use. They're not perfect. They do have, you can see there's the nub there at the top. It doesn't seem like a big deal, but I am actually gonna go ahead and bite that off. I do not like to see that on my ice fishing lures. My plastics, that is. So there is your combo. Let me see if I can get the camera to focus. There it is. So there is your combo. That is the Widowmaker Waxy Junior, and then that Scud #12 hook with the glow. A heckin' cool presentation. Now, as always, I say this all the time because it's really true. This actually can and probably, come on, this actually can and probably should be downsized. How can you downsize something that's this micro? Just go ahead and bite that plastic in half. So I'm gonna go ahead and, there's little balls on the body section here. You can just count some of those down. I like to leave the last 2 on this one. So I'm gonna take a couple of these off, and you can see I've only left the last 2, and then you just get this micro tail. And that is gonna be a great dead stick option for this presentation. What makes this such a great dead stick option? If you can get that horizontal pattern with a nice tight knot on that line, this thing is gonna stick out to the side, and all you've left at the back of your hook shank is this itty bitty tail, and you could not hold this still if you wanted to. Your breath alone is going to move it, which means anything moving under the water, any tiny little current, any little bit of anything on your line is going to move that little tail. If you're having a tough time jigging fish, what I do a lot of times is I'll dig a second hole, I'll plop one down, I'll sit on the actual rod, and then I will just let that thing dead stick. And maybe once every couple of minutes or every 5 minutes, I'll just hit the rod tip. And that's all the action that I'm gonna give that. You'll find that if you can't jig them up, sometimes you can use the same exact jig combo plastic and you can start catching fish on the dead stick. Boom. Now you've seen Bass Reaper before, and one of the things I love about Bass Reaper is that they give you a ton of plastics inside of their packs. This time is no exception. This is the micro minnow in red, 16 pack. That is well a full season's worth of tackle. And we've got a great jig combo for you. So this is a 5mm orange chartreuse single hook jig. Let me show you what this combo is gonna look like. Heckin' cool color on this bait. You got these little dots all over it. Plenty of things for fish to key in on. Really unique pattern. I don't have anything that's patterned like this. I certainly have some orange and yellow. And this is a very traditional shape jig. Awesome for rigging plastics. This is like one of my favorite jig shapes for running plastics on. It's just got this awesome longer hook shank for those longer plastics. Now this is a bigger size. It doesn't seem like it because this thing is still like half the size of, if I can show you, it's still half the size of my pinky nail, but it's still big as far as ice jigs go. Let's compare that one to the Scud, which is a number 12 hook. And there really is, as you can see, there really is no comparison. This thing is a giant, twice the size. So this micro minnow is an awesome plastic. Look at how big that little body is, but it's kind of short. It's got a little bit of stubby body, but it's got some bulk to it. That is great for this type of jig because you get all the bulk up by where the hook is and then the tail just to draw the fish in. So there is your combo with the micro minnow, both those Bass Reaper jig plastic combo. So you can see that tail is the only thing sticking out at the end, and all that body is right up there hiding that hook. Now one thing I wanted you to be careful about, you'll notice there actually is some shape to this. Under here it's almost a scoop shape, and then this plastic actually runs flat all the way across the top. So it's not quite as simple as it looks, but this flat tail is gonna grab a ton of water and give you a little bit of added displacement as you're jigging. This is an awesome combo. Again, a little bit on the larger size, but it's really only large for ultra clear water when you're targeting super small fish. This really is going to be an awesome, I like to use larger jigs early in the year and late in the year. So first ice, this might be one of the first things I tie on. Awesome combo. Plus you get 16 of those plastics. Jackpot. All right, so to recap what is in this box, you're getting the 3-pack of perch talkers. I'm going to try and hold these in there so they don't fall. You're getting the purple, the gold, and the glow. Super excited to do that glow. Those all come with the red treble hooks on the dropper chain. Super loud, great jigging action for perch, you know, any panfish. Awesome option. Catches anything but really panfish size. Next you get the Rattlin spoon from Lindy. Again, that lightweight, great option for dark water with that holographic body, dark color body, and then again, those brass rattles inside. Then you got the smelt stick. This is a great option if you like to live bait, a way for you to get down deep with that live bait, right over the bottom or right where you see those fish suspended, put it right in their face. Again, glow back, natural presentation with a little bit of holographic flash, and then a single gold hook, which is outstanding to tip with a minnow. You got your 3-pack of foam floats for that ultralight angler. Then you get the outstanding combo of the Glow Scud missile with a number 12 hook, and then also the Waxy Junior combo together with that hot pink Waxy Junior. And finally, rounding out the box is the Bass Reaper 5mm ice jig, orange chartreuse single hook with the wet backwards Bass Reaper micro minnow in red. And again, that is a 16-pack. Boom. Awesome box, can't wait to use it. It's got stuff for early season, late season, and even a little bit for open water. I really hope you enjoyed this unboxing. I hope this was helpful for you. If you already got your box and you wanted to know how to fish it, I hope you picked up some tips that were helpful for you. If you like fishing tips, if you like unboxings, gear reviews, and fun fishing videos, please consider checking out Burley Fishing while you're here. Hit us with a subscribe. We would love to see you. We have a podcast every Thursday live, just like Monster Bass does. It's actually right after Monster Bass's show. So please come check out us out as well. And thank you again for stopping by the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Hopefully you smash the like button, ring the notification bell, and you subscribe to the channel. We do appreciate it so much. Again, thank you, and I hope to see you out on the hard water.